Otherwise, we won't be here. In this temple, everything, unless she wishes, it won't happen. So I'll just exchange some views about Saturn, which we should be aware of, and knowing it and talking about it on this day pleases him. Because we think of him, we remember him, we know the various aspects of it. Among all the planets, Saturn is one of the most powerful planets. All the grahas, all the planets are afraid of him. Reason is, he's a disciplinarian. He gives us what we need to learn during that period. Thank you. Thanks. Is it better?
Yeah.
What Saturn does is make us go through certain difficulties. And these difficulties are very significant. There are certain aspects of Saturn at certain houses. They say the houses, there are 12 houses. Certain houses are not auspicious. Certain houses are auspicious. We have given all of you, I hope you have the write-ups. All of you have the write-ups?
It went on all the emails, Doctor. Yeah.
It was sent to you by email. Very important. The good aspect, the bad aspect, the intense aspect, the positive aspect. Because Saturn gives us a lot, but it extracts heavy, intense penalty. Because this is a travel, we all are traveling together. And we have a big travel and a big space to cover. And at the end of it, we are better products. We are stronger, and we had gone through great difficulties. And Saturn is one planet, everyone is afraid. Shiva is supposed to be his guru, Saturn's guru. Even he is very afraid of Saturn. Because during the time when Shiva himself had to go through any form which is created, has to go through this difficulty. Because the product has to be a good product by the time it comes out of this travel. And all of us are traveling together. Some of us have a pleasant travel, some of us have very unpleasant travel. And the unpleasantness Saturn gives is enormous. It's very intense, it's a very powerful planet. So it takes the toll. But the result is we are much better product. By the time we come out of the travel, which all of us go through, we are much better product. So, but he extracts the price. And the price is, our aim is to become divine. To become divine, Saturn helps and Saturn hurts too. And the travel is a painful travel because the reward is very significant. Because of that, the effort is very, very difficult. So Saturn is one planet. All the grahas are afraid. Some planets helps us, like Lord Hanuman is very positive when Saturn is concerned. The reason is, or was, when it happened no one knows. In the past 4 billion years, that's supposed to be the lifetime of the earth. Many, many things happen. And this is all related to that. During that period, Saturn helped Hanuman, many, many divine aspects which we are connected to. Since the travel is towards divinity, we want to make a human divine. That cannot be an easy job. That must be very, very difficult, painful process. And the process is shown during the lifetime. The travel itself is the aspect of Saturn. And certain aspects here we are giving the positive and negative in this write-up, so you can read it on your leisure, and you will see that you go through significant difficulty. At the same token, if you had positive punya, positive past, it gives you positive result. The mythology is Sanjana is supposed to have married Surya, and Surya was a very intense planet, and she could not stand the heat, so it leaves, but leaves her shadow with him, and she leaves and goes up to a higher plane of existence. And that's the reason it's called a shadow planet. Sanjana and Saranya. And mythologically, all these aspects are daughters of Vishwakarma. Vishwakarma is a divine architect. All these vigrahas you see here, the maker of them is Vishwakarma. When we were making those vigrahas, Mother said, "You are not capable of making me, so ask Vishwakarma." So she said, "You invoke him. Only he can make me. You cannot. And if you try, it would not be successful. You'll go through great difficulty, but you cannot make me. So invoke Vishwakarma." She said that during Prayogam. We do what is called Prayogam. She taught us. So many of our functions are based on that Prayogam. And our Guruji is a master in Prayogam. Swarna Venkateshwara Dikshadhar. On this day, we should remember him. He was the chief priest, but actually he was bigger than priest of Chidambaram, Nataraja temple. So they all referred to him as Nataraja, never called him by the name because he was respected by everyone. Even Mahaperiyava looked up to him. So she said, "You go to him and ask him how you can have the deity himself to come and be present during the functions here." So you do the homa, and she gave us the mantra. And that mantra, I cannot remember any of it, not even one bija of that mantra I can remember. Then I realized she didn't want it to be in earth. That was given for this temple during construction. After that, it should go away. So I tried very hard to remember one bija, I cannot. That's taken away from the earth. That came when she wanted these deities to be made here and consecrated here. And once that function is over, they were gone. Then only I realized I cannot get them back again. Not even one bija. The bijas are powerful aspect of the mantras. Because there's no need. That time is over, and the world was going through major crisis at that time, and she wanted her temple to be built. And she created this drama, and it was a very inauspicious period, and that period continues. It will continue because this is Kali Yuga. The entire period would be inauspicious. And we will survive because she has given us the clue that you build my house, I will teach you how to do that, I'll provide all the help which is needed. And once it's built, you can be sure the world won't be destroyed. It will persist. How long we don't know. But it will exist, and I will be here to protect all the life forms, not just human, any life form, which is her. Any life form is mother. So she would protect. And that is the reason why the whole drama happened and many miraculous things happened during the time of conception. But once it's done, that Vishwakarma aspect is gone. Ambani, you know, most of you know Ambani, very rich man, richest man in India, worth $20 billion apparently. His uncle came to us, our temple once, and he was very touched by this temple. He went back and told him how beautiful, how energetic the temple is. And apparently Ambani told him, I want exactly the same temple built in Bombay. I will give you the land, any amount of money, and he can afford it, any amount of money. So you go and tell the founder that I want this to be built in Bombay. I was not aware of this drama. I came to know later on. So he went to our Sthapati. Our Sthapati told him, no, we cannot build it. And naturally, that uncle got very upset. He is a man who can afford, and he wants to build a temple, and somebody is paying for that. Why? He says, no, I did not know this drama. I came to know afterwards. Then I came to know about it, then I told him, any life form, some element wants to help, we should all join. It doesn't matter where it is, whether it's in Bombay or Chennai or any place. We should all assist them. Because it is being done for life forms. So it's a holy act. We all should join, irrespective of where it's being built. So I talked to him, I said, this is the story. What happened was this. That entity cannot be hired. That's the reason why it cannot be done. He cannot pay him. What will you pay him to be here at the time of consecration so that the energy would be intense in all the deities? So I told him, explain to him, why? Why did you say you cannot do that? He won't do it because it would not be successful. All this happens miraculously in a different plane. And to do this because he can afford it, it's not possible. Apparently he told him, I can build it. It will be exactly like this, but it would be empty. It would not have that energy. It will not have that entity. Who is that? That entity would not be here to give the kindness and the protection. So I would not do that. That would be cheating, because I know it cannot be done. So to make a long story short, he was not happy, he was not satisfied, but at least he understood. We all want to help, we all want to do it, but it cannot be done. And we cannot just say, yes, we'll build it. That would not be a true house of Mahamai. And to do this, she has put us through so many prayogams, so many temples, so many places, all over India, all over Himalayas. All those were done because she said, I wanted that energy to be brought actively here. And you do this, you do the prayogam. And she taught the prayogam. Prayogam is different from yoga. Yoga is where you connect to Atman, connect to Paramatma. Prayoga, you find a way of doing things the way Mother wants it. And that would be given to the world for everyone, not to one person or one group. So that is the reason why this was not possible. And look how magnificent the place is. I didn't even know while I was doing it, I didn't know the significance of each act. But each act was very, very, very powerful. And she would say, you go and do this, you go and do that. That's secretive information, like go to Himalayas and do this prayogam in a place. How would you know where to do, what to do, how to do? You would not know that. Who can give it to you? Only Mahamaya can give it to you. Because she is the one who created the drama, who created entire show for the life forms to become divine. Look at that, the chore, the work. Human to become divine cannot be simple, cannot be easy. And it needs divine to assist us. And to do that, she creates this whole drama, and we are the fortunate ones. We are chosen to be participant in that drama. Without even knowing what we are doing, we did it. With blind or with faith. Ultimately, it's all faith. We did everything the way she said to be done, and we did it. That is the reason why we could not build this building, this temple in Bombay or any other place, because it was not her wish. Our wish is this should be provided as a journey, and all of us should participate in that journey, and that journey purifies us, energizes us, and makes a human divine. Look what a beautiful concept it is. And look how fortunate we are to be chosen to participate in that. Like, that's why I said today we are very fortunate to be chosen to be here on this day, holy day, auspicious day, and this pleases Saturn. And we are participant in that. So what have we done in the past? But obviously we did something very significant in many lifetimes, not one lifetime, hundreds of lifetimes. How many lifetimes? No one knows. But Krishna Bhagavan gave us a clue. He said it's 800 lifetimes for certain souls. How did he find it? I don't know. But he mentioned that. It's mentioned in Mahabharata. We needed that many lifetimes to purify, to energize this body. It's impure because we are beastly. Essentially, we are beastly, not pure. We have to purify. That is the reason why we needed this much time and this much help and this much directions. And once we travel, journey, she purifies us. And to be participant in that, we have to be the nicest people. So what we need to be is a nicety. Be a nice person. Think of other life form, not just human. A life form has to evolve and do what all it needs to evolve, because we all part of Mother. We came from her and we go back to her. And that cannot be an easy chore. And it's not a chore, it's a gift. And the gift is given to us, you, me. So we should take advantage of it and benefit from that. So coming back to Saturn, among all the planets, he is the most powerful because, number one, he is very slow. He's called Manda. His Gayatri itself calls him Manda. Manda means slow. Because the planet, astronomically, is a very slow-moving planet. So naturally, it takes time. When it has more time to accomplish certain aspects of function of Saturn. And we are the beneficiary. Look how beautifully the story is designed. And look how fortunate we are to be participant in that. To do that, she creates the entire story, entire drama. We went through so much during this period of 30 years. It has taken that long. It's almost 30 years. At the end of which, we would be made into a product which will be holy, which will be pure, which will make us worthy of receiving Mother's grace. And look how many deities or aspects she has given. We'll have 33 aspects of her in this place. We'll see it being constructed, being built. The result is we become divine aspect. So human becomes divine. And it won't be easy, but she will assist us. She will direct us. She will give us all these opportunities to celebrate, to function, to make it. So today is the day Saturn is very pleased when you think of him, when you do the function for him. He is very pleased. When he is pleased, your soul is pleased. When your soul is pleased, it's purified and you become a higher being. Without knowing any of it, you do. It's a gift from Divine Mother. And this gift is given to us, given to many life forms, but they may not be aware of and they may not receive. See, in life, unless you are aware of something, it doesn't exist. Even planets themselves don't exist unless you are aware of them. Like Pluto or Neptune, they are all new planet. Until they were discovered, the effect of them did not manifest. Why? The planet exists. How come they cannot manifest? The reason is we have to be aware. Everything happens in this earth because of our awareness. When you are not aware of certain things, it doesn't exist. It seems very contradictory when something is either there or not there. But it doesn't work that way. Psychologically and scientifically they're shown, unless an aspect is aware, is made aware, that aspect doesn't exist. Seems very strange. Either one thing exists or doesn't exist. It doesn't work that way. The awareness, our awareness produces the result of that end point. And we are going through that process of receiving it and growing up. I use the word growing up. We are all growing up. To do that, you do need many lifetimes. One lifetime won't be enough. It needs probably hundreds of lifetimes. Like Krishna Bhagavan told Arjuna, you need 800 times to come back. And each time I knew you, you did not know me. This conversation took place in the battlefield. Arjuna is telling, I won't fight. My gurus, my mentors. What is the purpose of that? To get the kingdom, should I have to kill my gurus, my mentors? Nothing is worth it. And I would not do that. Then he tells them about karma, about dharma, and that is Mahabharata. And that is given in the battlefield. Even then he didn't. Arjuna did not believe that. He said, no, still it seems very cruel that I have to kill my gurus, my mentors, my cousins, my uncles, my aunts, my family. What is worth that much? Nothing is worth that. And he is logical, he is right, nothing is worth that. The entire thing is illusion. And we create it for a purpose of the travel and the growth and purification. Then it should not be worth it. And then Krishna Bhagavan shows his Viswarupa. Arjuna sees all the battle is done already. He sees his uncles, his aunts, his family, all slayed. Then he realizes the whole thing is done already. And I'm talking to him now, trying to logically analyze, is it worth it? I'm telling you it's not worth it. But you showed it to me, that you are God. He shows in Viswarupa, he shows every aspect of the Lord. So he sees Krishna in his entirety. Then only he believes that this must be God. And what he says we should do. Now, look at Arjuna, look at you. We have faith. We come because our Vedas, all the literature, tells us this is the story you have to perform. When you do them, you purify. And when you purify, I can come into you. and feel comfortable. Otherwise, you invite me to a place where I'm not comfortable. I'm not happy. I'm not pleased. Why would you do that? So it's very logical. Don't invite the pure entity, which you call divine, into you, because we are not pure. We are very impure. We are very dirty, because we came from beasts. We evolved from beasts. So we will be beastly. Nothing unusual about it. But you become divine. So human has to become divine. And all our literature teaches us that. So we are born beastly, but we become divine. What a beautiful concept. And it teaches us. See, there are many religions. Any religion is good. Anything which teaches us how to climb up and go back to where we came from must be good. But ours is probably one of the few religions which teaches the process itself is the end point. Don't wait for the result. Just do it. That means have faith. You have to have faith. And we all have faith. More than what in the fight, the battlefield, this participant developed. We have it. And how fortunate we are to be born in this religion which teaches this, and it's natural for us to be a listener and to be want to be a holy person. To do that, we have to invoke these cosmic energies, which is this place particularly full of this cosmic energy. And when they come into us, they should feel happy. They should feel pleased. They should feel it's worth it. All of this drama, this travel is worth it. And today is one such day. And Lord Saturn helps us because he is a punisher. He judges very harshly. And you have to be judged harshly because the reward he gives you is enormous. To get that kind of reward, the punishment also has to be painful. And more pain, more gain. And today is one such day where we come here, we talk about him, and we talk about the astronomy and astrology. You know, before Newton, the only science which was taught in the universities, in Oxford and Cambridge, places like that, was astronomy. Then only other sciences came in. And then the true science, which is astrology, true astrology, disappeared because they called it pseudoscience. So people stopped teaching and learning astronomy because they said, how can an object sitting billions of miles away can affect us? How can that influence us here? That's a good question. All of us should ask that question. But the reason is that energy is present in every entity, every living entity. I'm not saying humans. Any living entity, that energy is present. So if that energy is present, it will evolve. That's the nature of evolution. And we are that recipient of that energy. And we are given the gift of this temple. See how beautifully she is giving us, step by step, from that day one, almost 29, 30 years ago, to today, how much she has given us, and how much we learned during that time. And the result would be, we will be strengthened, we will be purified, and we will be better product, in which the divinity will be pleased to be here. Otherwise, we shouldn't even invite. It's not worth it. Why would you invite a pure being into this impure mind, body, intellect complex? And that won't be a kind act. But that'll be the act of any religion. It makes living form non-human. I use the word human because it's the closest to us. But any life forms, the human applies. So all these things teaches you something. It teaches us. We are here for a purpose, and the purpose is divine. And the divine helps us. He doesn't just create us and says, you learn. These are very complex. They're not simple truths, very complex truths. Unless we have divine grace, the most important thing, I repeatedly say that, is the grace. If you have the grace, you will learn. You will know you'll have a good journey. You'll have a positive journey. End of the journey would be you become divine. You develop divine attributes. Does it make sense? Whatever I said, it makes simple sense. No complexity. It's not a complex mathematical formula. It's very simple. Be a nice person. You know the word, you are my brother's keeper, all of you. That means I have responsibility for you. I take it seriously and do what I can within my ability to make you divine. And that's a huge, huge gift. Only Mother can give it. Only if you have the faith. If you have the faith, she will grant you that. And look at this, many, many miraculous things have happened in this ground. Thousands of years ago, in this ground, shamans practiced. There's one sitting there. He doesn't know that. But he was a shaman in the past. Now he comes back and benefits. Like that, thousands of years, the shamanic thing has happened here. Some of you have heard these prayers. Some of you have heard that. Certain nights I will come, I will listen to the drums. Normally you don't hear that. But you will hear that. When she wishes it, you will hear the drums. When you hear the drums, you know your travel has started, you know you're on the right path. So all this, as time goes, she will teach us and she will give us the gift of evolution. The gift of evolution. And Saturn is the most important among all the planets. And because he's so important, he punishes us. He judges us very harshly, but very fairly. The judgment is very fair. Everyone has to go through that, including Lord Shiva. Shiva was his guru, but he had to go through that. The reason is, unless you go through that, you would not be purified. That's a problem. You won't be a pure being. And if you're not a pure person, or a nice person, maybe I should say a nice person, you will not travel. And the destination is Swarga, heaven. And that has to be difficult. But here she makes it easier, much easier than anywhere else. Because she has given us this place with all the needed energy, needed ammunition to travel. Because of that, we have hope, we have benefits, and we will receive it. So today, all of us will thank Mother. And look how many forms, how many of us, millions and millions of us. We need that many. Do you need that many forms? Yeah, you do, because the end product is such a huge, huge accomplishment. You have to go through that. So this place will be full of her. There will be 33 aspects of her, and each one would be her. I say her, seems not respectful, but it is her. Why can't it be him? But I won't go into it. But it is her. It's Divine Mother. And she has created us, and she is teaching us, and she is giving us the products needed to become her. Can you imagine? She's trying to make us humans That's a huge boon. But she just didn't say, you become me. I'll teach you how to do that. So listen to her, come here, show her your love, your affection, and get her grace. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
ఇప్పుడు శనేశ్వర అర్చనకి సంకల్పం శనేశ్వర అర్చన
Bye.